How did everything begin? Here is our story of how we found out about the exchange, how the registration and pairing process worked, how we first got in touch with each other, who went first, our feelings leading up to obviously meeting each other for the very first time, etc.
Avant d'aborder le vif du sujet, nous avons voulu te faire une vidéo où on te présente tout ce qui se passe avant l'échange. Cela pourrait te sembler inutile, mais c'est justement une des parties les plus importantes, car c'est à ce moment que tout commence. Donc écoute bien et c'est parti. Pour moi, c'était assez simple. Ma famille connaissait déjà le principe des échanges linguistiques, puisque mon frère en avait fait un 3 ans plus tôt. Il l'avait adoré, alors c'était une évidence pour moi de réaliser la même expérience que lui. Mais évidemment, même si je savais ce qui m'attendait, j'étais très inquiète de partir loin de ma famille, dans un pays totalement étranger.
Contrary to her, my everything was a little more complicated. I found out about the exchange through school. I just remember it was the end of the school day, the class was loud, everyone was rushing out the door, when my teacher said, out of the blue, something along the lines of, if you want to do an exchange with a student in France, come see me after class. It was so quiet and nobody heard. Looking back at it now, so many of my friends from elementary school who were in that same class ask me, how did you find out about the exchange? Or say things like, I never heard her say that. What? When was this? Only me and another student heard this, and knowing that it would be absolutely impossible to convince my family to let me go on this thing, I still went up to her to see what she was talking about. This was really late into the registration process, though. It was nearing the end of September, and there was only about a week left until registrations were closed. I remember taking the pamphlet home and just thinking, how? How am I going to convince my family to let me go on this? How are we going to afford this? Will my mom even let me fly somewhere all alone and then be fine with not seeing me for 2 months? Obviously, I would call her, but still. My mom picked me up from school that day, so in the car, I asked, hypothetically, if I were to want to go on an exchange, what would you say? And she laughed. But then I showed her the pamphlet, told her a little bit more about it, and finally convinced her to go to at least one meeting with me. From then on in, we went to one of the last meetings, which was literally a meeting with all the parents who had already registered their kids for the program, just wondering about the last details and ins and outs of the exchange. And then there was us, going into all of this completely unsure of anything. I had a few days to fill in the 30-page form all about me, and then it was just a waiting game. Now, here we are.
Le matching s'est fait par l'intermédiaire de nos programmes. Ils ont pris en compte le formulaire que nous avons rempli auparavant. Ainsi, les organisateurs de nos programmes d'échange ont mis ensemble les correspondants en fonction de leur centre d'intérêt. Dans mon formulaire, j'avais précisé mon adresse mail pour que ma correspondante puisse me contacter. Ma correspondante m'a alors contactée avant que l'association nous en informe. J'étais alors la seule Française à connaître ma correspondante.
Now, from my point of view, this was weird, because by the time I had actually mustered the courage to send Blurp an email, we'd already known who our partners would be for 2 weeks. Anyways, we both downloaded WhatsApp, FaceTimed on a few occasions with our parents. It was a little awkward, but I think it really helped.
C'est d'abord ma correspondante qui est venue chez moi. Ce n'est pas aussi simple que ce que tu peux penser de recevoir une correspondante. Il faut lui faire découvrir le plus possible ton pays. Ma famille et moi devions alors préparer des activités et des visites à faire pendant ces 2 mois. Nous avons donc pris des billets pour aller dans la Tour Eiffel 6 mois à l'avance. De plus, nous avions prévu un séjour au ski pendant 1 semaine pour qu'elle puisse découvrir les Alpes. Et n'oublie pas, plus tu réserves tôt, moins les réservations seront chères. Mes parents et moi voulions d'abord accueillir la correspondante pour la connaître avant que j'aille au Canada. Mais cela ne doit pas être un obstacle. Si tu dois partir en premier, fais-le.
So as you know by now, I got to go first. There was a lot of things I needed to figure out, but with this being said, don't worry, because it's all worth it in the end. The quote-unquote major concerns that we will be listing here are concerns that everyone has leading up to their exchange. First of all, documents, paperwork, tickets, passports, just all the logistical stuff. A lot of it is out of your control, however, you have to make sure that your passport isn't expired, which mine was, and you have to see if there are any restrictions or additional travel forms that need to be filled in your given country. This applies in some countries more than in others, sorry France, as well as based on numerous familial situations. Second of all, what did I have to do with school? Even though I was in elementary school, I'd still be missing quite a bit of schoolwork with the amount of time that I would be gone. Third of all, what on earth was I supposed to bring with me? Obviously, I could find everything in France, but still, 2 months in one luggage, not that simple. If you guys are interested, we can possibly do a completely separate video just on this particular aspect of student exchanges. The last concern that many have is with regards to finance. No matter your financial situation, dropping X amount of money in a short span of time isn't something that many can do without thoroughly thinking and considering whether the program is worth it or not. Something that you should consider, however, is that whether you go for 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, or 3 months, you'll pretty much end up paying the same price, give or take a few, because the majority of your payment is going to finance the price of the plane ticket. As well, you'll have to pay for any activities that you decide to do with your partner while they are visiting you. Now, having said this, it can be a little intimidating. However, the experience living day-to-day life in another country, the authenticity of the exchange and the family life, all the things that you'll learn, all the memories that you'll be able to take back with you, all the friendships that you'll cherish for the rest of your life, these are things that hardly anything else can ever recreate. Everything comes with a price, but opportunities are priceless. I couldn't imagine now not having done my exchange. It affected every aspect of my life so drastically, and no amount of money could replace the pure adoration that I now have for the other country, the other family, the other life that I got to live as if it were my own. I'm talking on behalf of me and Blurp when I say this. Now, on to school.
Je suis partie au Canada en août, donc j'ai manqué les 2 premiers mois d'école en France. J'avais naturellement demandé la permission à mon collège de louper leurs heures de cours. Et comme n'importe quelle école, ils ont accepté car d'une part, j'aurai cours au Canada, mais surtout car c'est une opportunité extraordinaire de s'ouvrir au monde et d'apprendre une nouvelle langue, une nouvelle culture et bien d'autres choses encore. Évidemment, j'ai dû rattraper la plupart des cours une fois rentrée en France, mais ça n'a pas été un problème et je me suis très bien réintégrée. Mais surtout, ne pense pas aux cours pendant ton échange. Concentre-toi seulement sur ton voyage et rien d'autre.
I was leaving in the middle of the year, but luckily my teachers were really open to me doing an exchange and willing to work with me about the work that I would miss. I had made a deal with my mom and my math teacher that I would complete all the math that I would miss ahead of time, but other than that, I was only given 2 assignments to do in France during the 2 months that I would be there. And honestly, I'm really happy that I did them. They were both in French, and they were both about my experience, so it was great even though they both took me a while to do. One of the things I had to do was a journal de bord, and we're mentioning this because we really recommend that you too document your day-to-day experiences in one way or another.
Au final, tout a pu aussi bien se passer grâce à la communication. Certes, tu peux être timide, mais cela ne doit pas avoir d'impact sur ta relation avec ton correspondant. Si tu es ouvert au monde et responsable, tu n'auras aucun problème. Tu seras face à de nouvelles situations au cours de ton échange. Mais si tu restes ouvert à n'importe quel changement, cela ne devra pas être un obstacle. Tu seras probablement aussi stressé que nous, mais il faut te surpasser et tu le réaliseras la meilleure expérience de ta vie. Le conseil le plus important que l'on puisse te donner est tout simplement de se détendre et d'apprécier l'instant présent. Étudiants, vous êtes sur le point de vivre le meilleur moment de votre vie. Et les parents qui regardent cette vidéo, laissez votre enfant parcourir le monde seul et en toute sécurité grâce aux organisateurs installés sur place. Ils seront toujours présents en cas de problème et répondront à toutes vos questions. Et finalement, professeurs du collège ou du lycée, partagez cette opportunité incroyable à vos élèves et laissez-les partir. Un élève en moins ou en plus, cela n'affectera pas votre cours, c'est promis.
Thank you all for watching and listening. If you found this video helpful or informative, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions or topics that you'd like us to discuss in the future. Subscribe if you enjoyed and if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Bye!